So here I am at Moondog's farm today with my ace video crew, Shelley, who I'm going to ask a seed question for. We're in a field of winter brassicas, which are the backbone of our winter cropping systems in this part of the world, and we have this variety here called Pentland Brig. Do you remember where we got the seed from, sweetheart?
Oh, this is an adaptive seeds
variety. Adaptive seed, and I know that adaptive seed is one of the most highly respected public domain plant companies in the country. Is also very dialed into kales. So one of the reasons the southern Willamette Valley has for many years been the de facto heartland of global kale diversity, Brassica napus and Brassica oleracea in the West, or English-speaking world. We know that. And one of the reasons we know that is we sent a team over to Europe, Andrew and Sarah, in 2006-2007, and they brought back enormous depth in qualitative winter kale performance. Pentland Brig is unusual. It has a reputation among organic holistic plant breeding as one of the mainstay kales coming out of England. It may be England's most famous kale. It's called an overwintering or a hunger gap kale. It gets huge in the spring, totally blows up, produces an enormous amount of food. Kales have these different behaviors, and we mix and match in terms of our breeding approaches and in terms of our cultural approaches to extend the harvest, for example, as we can. Now, the reason I wasn't intending to say all that, I'm here today with the Burrito Brigade, and what we're doing, what I wanted to show, is that we are harvesting, selectively harvesting. Harvesting vegetables is one of the most important parts of my teachings. The local medicinal folk will always say that harvesting is an act of stewardship. Wildcrafting is fundamentally a deeply coherent, co-evolutionary expression. And what we do when we harvest kales heading into a winter, for example, is tidy them up. We want to get some air circulation. Well, we'll pull out stuff that's going down. Now I'm not going to eat that, but I'll put that in the right. Now this leaf over here is tilting over, it's on the ground, shadowing out this plant a little bit. That one's a little rusty, but we'll put that down. This one's a little oogie. This one I wouldn't typically take because we've got so much on hand, but there's no reason you couldn't carve most of a meal out of that if you were feeding a child, for example. So what we do is, see this huge leaf on this plant? It's shading out a bunch of smaller ones, and we're getting stuff off close to the ground, stopping the disease pressure to a degree coming back up the plant when these leaves will rot out. So this is essentially how you're not just harvesting when you're harvesting holistically. There's a deep eco-cultural intelligence that informs the approach. And then, of course, once you get them out like that, but much prettier, that's when Shelley takes care of the presentation. She makes the most beautiful kale bouquets, as do so many in our bioregion.
Oh.
Okay, that's it.